Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And today, as a part of the horror movie scratch offs, I am very happy because I get to watch a film that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. And it's a film that I completely just forgot everything that happened in it. So it was like going in blind because it has been a long time. Last time I saw this film, honestly, I was probably like maybe 9, maybe 10. So it's been a very long time. And that film is from 1982, directed by one Mr. Toby Hooper, and it is a Steven Spielberg production, and that is Poltergeist. Craig T. Nelson, Joe Beth Williams. I got the 4K right here. Finally had a chance to crack it open, pop it in. It looks great too. I've been saying that a lot with these 4Ks, but great transfer for with this one. But let's get right into it because what I like about this film, not only is it just the way it's shot, I think it's shot beautifully, and it's still, yes, some things seem a little dated, but for the most part, I think it still holds up really, really well, and I think it looks great. Another thing that I will say that I really love about this film after watching it, and let's just say, basically, let's just say it's a first time watch for me. Like I said, it's been so long; it's almost technically like a first time watch. Is the fact that it doesn't make you wait for the parents to find out what's going on. We see this in a lot of haunting and possession films of that sort, where the parents, things are happening to the children in the film, but the parents don't find out or believe the children or experience things themselves until the third act of the film. Now with this one, very, very quickly, an hour and 49 minutes this film, but very quickly on, do we find out, do the parents, start to see and experience these things for themselves? Craig T. Nelson, I said Joe Beth Williams, they are great as mom and dad in this film. They are with their children through thick and thin in this one. And I love the entire family dynamic about this film is great. Absolutely great. Everybody does a great, great job. I will say too that again, this 1982, 2 years later, Ghostbusters came out. Dare I say it? I know, guys. I know I'm gonna probably get some, catch some flack for this one. But there are some similarities. I dare I say there were maybe some things were borrowed a little bit for Ghostbusters from Poltergeist. The way it's shot, some of the things that happen, some of the paranormal activity that happens, very, very similar. Even some of the sound, the music scores in this, very, very similar to what would happen 2 years later with Ghostbusters. But look, guys, I ain't complaining because I love Ghostbusters. And this is definitely going to be a top film for me now, too. I enjoyed so much of it. Very early on, everything seems very calm. Jo Beth Williams experience, her and her daughter seems to her youngest daughter seems to have more of a connection to this paranormal activity that's going on. They're seeing things move in the kitchen, and upon showing Craig T. Nelson, good old dad, even he's like, oh my gosh, like this is he's not a skeptic, like he sees what's happening. He's like, this is like almost like amazing. He can't believe it. So I love that they're not making you wait, and is that is it's great. That's all I can say. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of right now because I'm blown away by the fact that I've seen so many films that just come on, mom, dad, believe your kid. This is really, really happening, and they're not trying to come up with any kind of reason for this to happen. They're seeing it with their own eyes, and they're believing right away. And like I said, things seem pretty calm until their youngest daughter gets sucked into this closet, into this vortex storm, this big storm that happens in this like suburb, in this like community where they live. Craig T. Nelson, his character, is like part of this like development company, but he doesn't realize that his house where he lives, which is a part of this like community, was built on basically everything in this area was built on a cemetery. He doesn't know that. He has no idea until later on in the film when his boss finally kind of like discloses, tells him this. But as far as his boss tells him, hey, we moved everybody, all the bodies were moved, all the great, no, just the grave markers were moved, not the bodies themselves. So there was a lot of activity going on, especially under their house. Now, I'm not going to get to the very end of the film. That's what we've been doing this month. We're not spoiling the exact end of the film. But I fell in love with this film. I did, and I can see why it's considered a classic. I Everything that they're doing, like I said, even the paranormal investigators that they bring in, the ghost hunters, the Ghostbusters, they bring them in to kind of like help figure things out. And some of the practical effects are still really effective. Again, I love me some practical effects, and they're still great today. They still hold up pretty well. And I love the dynamic when they bring in like the median basically to talk, try to help recover their daughter who has been sucked into this closet, and she's kind of like in the spirit world, like in between worlds, not the living and not the dead. She's somewhere in between, and they need to bring her back. I love it. It's very there's a lot of tension. It's a lot of tension building, and the actress who the older lady who plays this character, she's just so adorable. Like she's great, absolutely everything that she does in this. Even when she's like, there's a part where she's like posing for the camera. It's like playing with her hair. I thought it was funny. I really did. I enjoyed it. I think, like I said, everybody does a great job in this film. And like I said, the fear and the tension and even some levity is brought into this film as well. Some little little joking here and there at times, and I love it. It's something you would definitely get. You would feel it. It feels more of a Spielberg film than a Toby Hooper film, if that makes sense. It definitely, even though Spielberg, there's things that have been said about this film, whether or not who directed it, who didn't direct it, and all that. We're not going to get into all that about the film, but it feels more of a true Spielberg film than that of a Toby Hooper film. And but either way, no matter what, it's still a classic, an absolute classic, and it was a joy to finally had a chance to, after decades of not seeing this film. It's been that long, finally having a chance to dive in and watch this one again. Very high praise, guys. Very high praise for Poltergeist from 1982. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle through the cards and see what is going to be our next card on the docket, which is going to show us our next movie as we get very close to Halloween here and wrapping up the horror movie scratch offs. Let's go ahead with this one, 1976, rated R, 98 minutes, supernatural action. That's just about my timer. My timer's going off. My muffins. I had to cook some muffins because I like to sit here and have some muffins and some tea when I'm watching these movies, guys. So my timer's telling me I'm wrapping up, and I am just about to wrap up as soon as we scratch off this ticket and find out what we are going to be watching next. Ooh, I could tell right off the bat. It looks like Sissy Spacek Space, which can only mean one film. Brian De Palma's classic, because I reviewed this on the channel probably about a year and a half ago, and it was amazing. It was great, absolutely fantastic. And that film, of course, is Carrie. So I am looking forward to, which will be just my second watch of this film. So I'm looking forward to watching again now, knowing kind of like what happens, to maybe dive in and see a couple of, maybe find some more details that I missed the first time around. So Carrie is the next one, guys. 1976. Looking forward to it, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.